Hey guys, it's me, Tiana Jones, also known as Callie Faye, and I'm here today with the All Lives Do Exist Sustainable Development Goal Day 8, and this is for decent work and economic growth, Global Peace Summit 2022. And I'm here with people from all over the world. And right now we are just grateful to be here. And our first special guest today is going to be Latasha Ramsey. Welcome.
Welcome, my sister. But now we are.
Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you for the introduction. It's an honor to be here today. My name is Latasha Ramsey Cipriana from the United States of America, and I'm here to join everyone to just give my point of view on the decent work and economic growth. So thank you, Tiana, for the opportunity as well for inviting me on today. So today, I want to just talk a little bit about Sustainable Development Goal number 8, which aims to promote economic growth and decent work for everyone. This is for all ages, men, women, all races. Economic growth grows whenever more workers have access to jobs and workers are more productive. Unfortunately, with COVID, it has considerably impacted employment opportunities in our countries around the world. So I did some research because I really wanted to kind of dig deep and see where we were at right now in 2022 with the numbers. And according to some studies that I researched last night, the global unemployment rate is at 5.7%, and having a job doesn't guarantee the ability to escape from poverty in many places. A lot of people are working and are still in poverty, unfortunately. Globally, there are 200 million people that are unemployed, and there's 1.4 billion people that are in vulnerable jobs, with 783 million who are working poor. So the global gender pay gap stands at 23%. So without the significant others of everyone joining in, working together, it could possibly take up to 68 years to achieve equal pay. But we don't have 68 years, of course. We need this done today. We need this done immediately. So there are goals in place, that are working towards the 2023 goal. So also, informal work associated with poor employment conditions is often the norm when it comes to employment in partner countries. And unfortunately, what that does is it helps us to remember what the challenges are so that we can address the challenges. So it's a slow and uneven progress. It requires us to rethink. We need to recalibrate. We need to retool our economic and our social policies that are aimed at eradicating poverty. So the goal, of course, is to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, which will be full and productive employment and decent work for everyone. This is for the disabled, for everyone. So this will preserve the environment. This will be key because the environment helps to support sustainable economic growth, as the natural environment plays an important role in supporting economic activities, because it contributes directly by providing resources such as raw materials, such as water, timber, minerals that are required and as inputs for the production of goods and services. And indirectly through services provided by the ecosystem includes the carbon dioxide, there's water purification, manages the flood risk, and nutrient cycling. And also the natural disasters directly affect economic activities, which leads to very high economic losses through many households into poverty. We have the hurricanes, the earthquakes, these things, add against what we're already working against, and it hurts our families and it adds them into poverty. So what can we do? So what can we do to help out, to make the world a better place by adding, more jobs, to help with the economy? So what we can do is we can look for Goal 8 charities and find ways to support. We can support by making donations. We can also organize a mentorship program. We can invite people who have experience in certain fields to create a mentoring group that will help young people better prepare for future jobs. We can also try to help create more jobs. You know, we can create more small businesses throughout our economy that provides more job opportunities for others. And then we can also know our rights at work, because in order for us to assess the justice that we need to know what we are entitled to. And we can also read about workers in other countries and business practices. And we can also talk to our friends and colleagues about these issues. Most importantly, let's buy from local producers, and let's also support local economic growth by choosing to buy from local producers and businesses. So I'll do my part. I am committed to doing my part towards this goal by being conscious, by helping to provide jobs, helping people to create jobs in our community, which will help with this goal. So again, thank you for this opportunity and for listening to my input on decent work and economic growth.
Thank you so much, and great
You're welcome.
service.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next special guest today is going to be Dr. Karit Kumar Bhatt. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Tiana, for giving me an opportunity to be here and to share my views. The word itself says too much, that a decent work and economic growth. If work itself is a decent, obviously the growth is a very obvious part of it. Decency is to be maintained in various forms, in the form of justice, in the form of taking care of the citizen, taking care of children, taking care of labor laws, taking care of employees, law of employees, taking care of the very positive and ethical economic practices. This is what I understand. Once, see, people are making businesses with various channels and with various intentions. Sometimes it is observed that for economic benefit or monetary gain, people are disrupting the environment to the greater extent. People are abusing the employees, or we can say exploitations at the employee level is very obvious, which we have observed in our life. So this is actually not a proper kind of economical growth. If somebody, some company, some organization are doing those wrong HR practices, so the goal, under this goal, it is mentioned that the fair practices for about the employee, fair practices to conduct the business, fair practices to run the organization. We have to expand the business. We have to do the economic operations by taking care of the environment also. We have to protect labor rights and promote safe working environment. Somewhere females are the employees, where we have to have extra care for their safety. So whoever may be working with us, machinery has to be safe, human being has to be safe, their rights has to be taken care of. One more thing that I understand, that we should it is a need of a time to have practices which creates the employment. Employment comes with the skill development. So employment is only a key to maintain this decent work and economic growth. If our practices are intended for generation of the employment, Now, if we are intended for employment generation, there it is obvious to have a skill development, or a youth of the nation has to be well equipped with the skills. If these are the steps, if we followed, then the decent work and the economical growth achievement is obvious, and it will be a routine practices. Diversity has to be well respected. Innovations and technology has to be incorporated and must be accepted also. So these are the certain points, my viewpoints, which really make a sense for decent work and to achieve the economical growth. Probably by incorporating technology, by taking care of the employment, taking care of the skill development, by empowering the youth. This is obvious. By taking care of the rights of the employee and safety of the woman, rights of the ethical practices of the business. These all will make sense for decent work and economical growth. This is what is my view about this goal number 8. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I believe that respect is the key thing here. We want to keep people aware of respecting human rights. It's your human right to be able to develop economic value within yourselves. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for patiently listening me.
Thank you.
Our next special guest today is going to be Dr. Professor Nada Rakovic. Welcome.
Greetings to all from Croatia. Our topic today, decent growth. I can say it is categorized in all SDGs, but we can make it in economy, society, and in environment groups. What it means, we need the individuals, we need new technology, we need new needs of technology, and then we need also the policies of our government to do and to act. We know today that more than half of the world's workers are not jobs insecure. We know that we have a low productive occupations. We have poor pays. We have limited access to education and to the social insurance. This situation with the pandemic make it more worse. And maybe how can we make that changes? We know all the targets, and if we talk about a decent work and economic growth, we can mention freedom, equity, security, and human dignity. All the targets and activities for the jobs creation, for the entrepreneurship, for creating innovations. It need to be encouraged. It need to be encouraged by the government, and all actions are by our government. And we know that all people, entrepreneurs who are working alone, that are in very hard situation, that they are struggling for the pains, for finding the work. Yes, this is going. Many works are going online, but this is only the service. There is no production, and if we don't have production, how can we talk about economic growth, about inventions? We know that today we have high-end technology and the robotics, which will replace many, which not will replace, but which replace already many work places, and we are talking about a new economy. And what kind of economy it is? It is a digital economy. We have a digital citizen, we have a digital government, and we have a digital private sector. So how to enable the development with digital economy? That is what many I can said more than 50% people are working on internet and working on the high-speed networks. We're talking about the big data. We know that we have many new devices. First, we can say that our main device is our mobile, and that are the 21st century factors. Creation, evaluation, supervision, and that are the new functions that are trying to get from our workers, the employees, the self-employed, and others. And what will be and what are the result of this kind of trends? We have experienced the borders and the distance. We create new materials, new data, new platforms. We erase all the boundaries. And that is a big data. We have a digital revolution which directly affects our job creations, our new sectors, new products, new services. We have job change, digitization. We have a relocation of the platforms. And like I said, we have a destruction of the jobs, which I mentioned, automation and robotics. So how will the trends raise and how will the questions be arised, and what will be the end of the result? And what is the most important question of our future as we are intelligent being arises? Will smart machines really produce stupider people? Will we be really stupider with the smart machines? And I can say I work many with AI, with artificial intelligence, with the blockchains, and I also see the positive impacts and I see the negative impacts of this situation. But somewhere, something went terribly wrong. And that is a situation today with the economy and with the decent growth. And if we don't take action, like in all sectors, in all fields, and in everything, it will not be good. It will not be good. So I can say that in my country, we felt the hardest situation after this corona. Also, we had an earthquake, and many people lost their job because when you go from my town to, like I said, 100, 200 kilometers, there is no factory and there is no production. Until we don't invest in innovations, in new technologies, in that, I can say that there will be no economic growth and there will be no decent work. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, she's right. Investments will bring more revenue and economical growth worldwide. So that is a key thing right now, is entrepreneurs and people that are investing. Our next special guest today is Ubani Vivian. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Ubani Vivian. I'm joining you from Calabar, Nigeria. It's 5:27 p.m. my time. And it gives me great pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Kali, Graphy, for the invitation. I'm so honored. And I'm a passionate educator. I'm a social entrepreneur. I regard myself as a social entrepreneur because I love to solve social problems. It could be in business, education, and all around. So joining in today, we will be talking about decent work and economic growth. As the passionate educator, they both work together because you need to empower the youth for them to have a skill. So you need to educate them on the knowledge that is not in existence, or the knowledge that is in existence they haven't acquired yet. So when we look at the decent work, it promotes sustained, inclusive, and sustainable growth, economic growth, full and productive employment. Hence, we have some targets that our initiative could relate with. So we are going to be looking at target 8.2, which has to do with diversify, innovate, and upgrade for economic productivity. So I'll be using Africa as an example. We really need to innovate, really need to upgrade. There's a lot of importation than the export. So how can we promote, how can we grow our gross domestic product through exports, right? And also empowering young people with the necessary skills. That will also reduce poverty rate, also improve the economic growth of every nation. So looking at the goal, the target, 8.5. This is one of my favorite, which is full employment and decent work with equal pay. When we talk about women inclusion at the workplace, and you realize that for women to thrive, they need to have some level of knowledge about negotiation. Because in my discovery, I realized that women don't negotiate better when it comes to pay than the men. So it is a huge challenge, and that skill needs to, be promoted among women. So, and then when we look at target 8.6, I love this, and this is currently what our initiative is working to achieve. Education Sustainability and Vocational Development Initiative, Nigeria. So we are on a movement currently to empower young people with basic digital literacy skills. Our goal by 2023 is to ensure that 10,000 youth in Africa is empowered. So looking at the statistics, Africa is below par, and we need to work on those statistics. We need to bridge that gap, and we need to rewrite the statistics. How can we rewrite that statistics? By empowering our young people. So many African countries, a lot of young people do not own a cell phone. Just recently in Sudan, in Khartoum precisely, one of our ambassadors who was selected on board the training and said that he couldn't join the virtual session. Why? Because the internet has to be taken down for 5 hours. For some security reasons, there is outright disconnection, and not just a disconnection from other young people in different parts of the world, but for them to thrive, for them to access the right information, for them to utilize their digital skills, it's very impossible, it's very unlikely. So we are on a mission, we are in a movement to see how young people can be empowered. So how do we achieve that? We use the youth who are knowledgeable on these skills. We provide curriculum, we provide modules, we provide learning toolkit, basically. Go out there in the public, in the marginalized communities, in schools, hospital rehabilitation centers, rural communities, urban communities, primary schools, secondary schools, empower them with digital skills. So that at the end of the day, they can use that to provide decent jobs for themselves, to become employable, and to access numerous job opportunities. So this is target 8.6 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 8, to promote youth employment, education, and training. So as much as we are talking about, we need to develop our nation, education has to be a priority, because every developed nation prioritizes education. And I'm adding my voice to other young people, especially in Nigeria, in Africa, across the continent, across the globe, to bridge that gap. We want to make education universal. in the sense that what is applicable in this country should be applicable in another country. So the youth can as well maximize their potential. So this our job is very important in all economic situations. It affects us all, and we really need to work together collectively as professionals, as policymakers, as advocates, as diplomats, wherever we find ourselves, and also researchers who work to provide solutions, give recommendations when it comes to policy drafting to see that we grow the economic situation of our continent, our nation, our world, and have a better living from it. So thank you so much. This is how brief I'm going to make this, and I really enjoy all your contributions, and thank you all for having me.
Thank you so much for all the information and education and value that you're giving to this economic development conference for SDG. That is amazing. Thank you. Our next special guest today is going to be Honey Kapoor. Are you ready, Honey? And we can circle back if he's not ready. We also have another special guest, a Global Peace Brand Ambassador for All Lives Do Exist and Women's Lives Do Exist. And he is from Jordan. Welcome.
Good evening, good morning. Welcome, my sister. Welcome, my brother. But I not perfect to English. Excuse me, my sister, my brother. Now the economic is the people a lot of a problem all countries. But COVID-19, COVID-19, it's not good. The economic, it's under the floor now. But the people to good economic, but now you work in flower. Flower, it's good. But اسمحوا لي يعني لن أتكلم الإنجليزية كثيرا جيدا، ولكن سأكمل حديثي باللغة العربية إذا تكرمتم علي. إذا أردنا أن نحسن من الوضع الاقتصادي بشكل عام، يجب على الشعوب أن تعود إلى الأراضي بحيث تستخدم الزراعة وليس.
Excuse me, I can translate for him.
What? يجب على الشعوب الإعادة إلى العمل بالأرض من أجل إنتاج محصول جيد، وكذلك يجب على هيئة الأمم المتحدة أن توجه الشعوب باستغلال الأراضي على الوجه الأكمل، وأن يكون هناك تعاون. نعم. تفضل أستاذي.
ابدأ بالعربي وأنا هترجم انجلش.
اوكي شكرا لك اخي.
تحت امرك.
الامر لله. فارجو ان نحن الان بعد كوفيد 19 الذي تطرق الى العالم اجمع ووضع كافه الدول في وضع ضيق من الناحيه الاقتصاديه، وكذلك الحرب الدائرة الآن بين الاتحاد السوفيتي وأوكرانيا لها سلبيات على دول العالم، بحيث أن أوكرانيا كانت تصدر المنتوج الأول وهو القمح وكذلك الزيوت النباتية. لذا أطلب من هيئة الأمم المتحدة، وهذه توصية توصية خاصة بأن تعود الشعوب إلى الزراعة بالأراضي ولا تعتمد على الغير، وخصوصا بالمحصول الرئيسي والأساسي الأول وهو القمح. وأشكرك كل الشكر أخي الغالي وصديقي على ترجمة هذه الرسالة لهم جميعا، كما وأنه يجب على هيئة الأمم المتحدة وخصوصا منظمة الصحة العالمية أن تعي تماما بأن ما حصل من نتيجة وباء كورونا أرهق الأسواق العالمية وكذلك أرهق الدول، والآن هناك غلاء فاحش، غلاء فاحش. لذا يجب علينا أن نهتم بالبيئة والصحة والتعليم والزراعة بالدرجة الأولى. وشاكر لكم كل الشكر والتقدير للقائمين على هذا المؤتمر، وأشكر أخي الذي سوف يقوم بالترجمة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله
Thank
وبركاته.
you, Dr. Mohammed. I feel so happy to be with you to translate the speech of my friend Mohammed. He said, talk about the problem of COVID-19 and how all the nations all over the world affected badly about this COVID-19. So he asked the nations and the United Nations to be careful and help all people to be cooperated together because everything now all over the world became so high prices, so expensive, and he asked the United Nations to be interested in the environment, and he asked to be in one hand to face any problems around the world, okay? And he thanked you so much about this participation, and he feels so happy because you allowed him to speak and to deliver or to say his opinion about the problems of economy nowadays in our world. And he hoped all economic problems solved by the cooperation between nations and the helping of the International Health Organization and be together in one hand. Okay, thank you for you, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you. Okay.
شكرا
That's all.
شكرا
Thank you.
أخي وصديقي عدلي، شكرا لك.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. شكرا لك.
أهلا وسهلا فيك، شكرا لك.
Thank you. Thank you for translating for Dr. Mohammed. And it's always great to know people from all over the world are joining this platform to get their voice heard, to show justice for global peace for people worldwide. So thank you again. And all lives do exist, and women's lives do exist. We all exist for equality with each other. So our next special guest today is going to be Adli Roham. Thank you for translating.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So please say a couple words. If you would like, you can say a couple words about economic development. Okay, we're going to go ahead. Are you ready? We're going to call another speaker that's here today. we are going to call Von Eric Tendok. Welcome.
Oh, well, first I would like to say thank you for having me because of your invitation. Thank you. And I feel honored and grateful to be here, to be invited. So thank you. Well, with regards to the theme, economic development, well, I can say a few words. I came from a third world country in Asia, and I know the hardship, the difficulties, people living paycheck by paycheck or sometimes below the minimum, the so-called minimum wage. And it's very difficult to live such conditions. And even here in first world country, like Canada, United States, the Great Britain, again, the inflation, we all know that, the rising cost of the gas, of the fuel, the gas. So it's really difficult to have achieve that standard of living when such inflation rate and higher cost of fuel. And it affects the world economy. Particularly, we have this war in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia, and it affects the market. The only thing that I can say is I'm not an economist, but the only thing that I can say here is probably if we can join hands together, be calm, and instead help our company, let's say, help in the, if you're the manager, help in cost cutting. I have this more than 20 years experience as a manager in the fast food industry. And one way to help the company is to cost cutting. If you start small, if you start in your branch, or if you start in your own company, if all people will do that, then probably we can do our share and we can help even in a small portion. So that's all I can say. It's, of course, the leaders, we can only support the leaders rather than complaining, whining, and be a troll, complaining in social media of anything. Why not just do your share work? Change starts within us. So probably that's one way how to help our economy, the world economy, with all the challenges that we are facing right now. So over to you. Again, thank you very much for inviting me. I received your message in Messenger, and I just finished you attending IIU, and I immediately jump in here. So, and thank you. Great to see you, my dear friend Nada too, and to all other different personalities here. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's true. It's the mindset of accountability that can help economic development. So I'm going to go ahead and speak for a few minutes, and we will be wrapping up this summit conference. So the topic, SDG 8. We are aware of what's going around the world of economic value, economic employment, economic decrease and increase of fluctuation. And right now, this is our time to adjust our mindset and adjust the way that we portion out and budget our finances. So we want to find a solution here to see why we should even do the most of value in what we are doing. So that includes budgeting, that includes our finances, that includes portioning out our SDG goals, because these goals all connect together. As I said yesterday in yesterday's conference, by saving energy, by saving water, by proportioning economic growth, poverty, hunger, these are all issues with economic growth and development, but they're also solutions with economic growth and development. There's always two ways to look at things. So if we can work on each sustainable development goal, this will impact the economy, and not just one economy, all economies across the globe. So if we're able to adjust our mindsets, again, SDG 3, health and well-being, which is mental awareness, mental illness, prevention, we can start at the source, which is ourselves, and fluctuate that opinion and that perception within ourselves of awareness to give ourselves accountability in everything we do and all that we do. So by giving that accountability, this will increase the economy. This will give the economy a break, because it's a breakthrough that needs to happen. Trusting our inner selves and trusting and knowing ourselves, we know right from wrong. And we also know that our job is to give purpose to the youth and also other people in the economy, in our communities, in our service of occupation. There's people all over the world that are waiting for you to stand up and make that change and make that understanding to be known of awareness for everyone worldwide. Now, if you're using technology and media, which is what we're doing here with the All Lives Do Exist platform and Women's Lives Do Exist platform of equality, we're showing that the existence of life, of God, of faith, of a higher being exists within the human body. This growth is the key growth to developing the economy. People say, what does that have to do with the economy? Well, what that has to do is the acceptance will increase the medical field. That acceptance will also increase the technology field. And also, as Professor Nada Rakovic spoke upon, it's intelligence, it's the awareness of IT. If we're able to give this information and spread this information, we're not just spreading global peace within, we're helping prevent mental illness and preventions of disease. We're helping the economy by giving back that information, which can create revenues for people that write books, for people who write scripts and music of entertainment. This also helps education, the education system, which increases policies and helps renew old policies to be reviewed to give the information for education. Now, this will increase the economy by, in Croatia, Romania, and other countries, parts of Asia, parts of Africa, to give them tourism, to give people more advantages to go and do tourism and to want to see those countries and want to learn the history. Also, another key here is going to museums all over the world, because as we are human beings, we know there's been a past, there's a present, and then there's a future to come. So if we're able to give this information of awareness using technology and media spreading all over the world, we're able to go back and circulate to find out how we got here, not just the advantage of learning how we've made mistakes to correct those mistakes, but what has happened to see the evolutionary changes, which will bring huge tourism to the museums, huge tourism to entertainment, as music, film, and development for economic growth of publishings and books will be spreading all over the world. This increases the IT and technical difficulties that have been bordered across the United States and also all over the world. It strengthens your Defense Department of Defenses, because we need to have a stronger defense when it comes to war and critical situations that may outbreak on one or two or a few people's mindsets. And this will develop not just a scale of understanding with one occupation or one precise precision of the thought. This helps develop all minds, all mindsets of people that are existing in our world, because again, all lives do exist and women's lives do exist. We need to enhance factual proof and factual understanding of not just the precise precision of communist accountability, but now we need to understand that democracy has set in a lot of people to have advantages to spread global peace, to spread awareness for revenue, to give the economy more growth, because you're giving the people more freedom. You're giving the people more actions of accountability so that they're not living in fear. If we are able to grab hold of this mindset and transition this change, this will increase all countries, including Asia, because then Asia's economy revenue will start to grow and start to increase. Their defense will also be strengthened with all defenses in the United States and also defenses all over the world. Because here's the thing, we need to get ready for something greater that may come. As people know, there is other life in the universe. We don't know what's going to happen. So we need to unite all countries for economic development and growth, giving their people jobs, giving their people education, and strengthening the spirit of God within, and strengthening the wisdom of the knowledge of holistic approach. This increases the medical field. This increases the technology field. This increases the Department of Defenses worldwide, not to be against each other, but to unite in synergy to help defend the planet Earth if an emergency does persist to happen. As we are aware, there are people all over the world that are also aware that there is life out of the, in the universe, in other planets. There is proven facts that this is something that's true. If we are aware of this, instead of diluting that precision of mindset, we can unite all countries to have the strongest force of economic value in the planet Earth, which is the safest planet to live in, giving us all ways of life, giving us all precise individuals that have this creative mindset. Now, here's the thing. Once we're able to give the people the accountability, right? Because they are already aware. There's no point pretending that this is not in existence. People are aware of what exists of negative dark mass of energy and positive mass of energy, as it has been proven from back in Einstein's time. We need to take this information and this knowledge, and we need to subject it with the people, giving them a fair choice that will give clean energy into the planet Earth and clean energy into the world. This will also, again, strengthen our departments of defenses. And this will also give revenue. Now, everyone wants money. Everyone who knows money needs to be made to take care of priorities for decreasing crime rate, decreasing poverty, decreasing hunger. Well, the key here is to target all SDGs. All SDGs are united into one factual circumstance, and that is the overall picture is building the economies, making sure the people have what they need so we can get rid of crime rate and also issues. Now, there are issues of people that need to be ready for change. That is the main understanding here. If you're ready to make money and you're ready to build your economies, then you are ready for change. You are begging for change. You are begging to get out of poverty, and you are begging for crimes to be decreased. What are you going to do to make that happen? Here's what you're going to do. You are going to spread this awareness all over the internet using technology and media. Teachers and people of schools will be spreading this awareness through new publishings, new discoveries, and new books. Instead of having fallacy of people trying to control each other and the mindset of others, you are going to spread this information so you can get ready for anything that comes in the future toward our, not just the United States, not just a few countries, but toward the entire earth. Because if you pay attention, if we're sitting here and we're having wars against each other, and something comes from outer space to possibly attack us or even lower our defense, what we have done is eliminated half of the world, not just one nation or half nations. We have eliminated half of our defenses, and our defenses are going down every time we get into a war. Our defenses are going down and our security is being breached. So if we can take this accountability and we can unite all nations to give them the mindset, the education, the information, the accountability, using technology and media to spread it as quickly as possible, when that time comes, and precise, we don't know when, we want to be prepared for that existence. We want to strengthen all of our people to unite and give this information to the youth. We are very aware that there are other planets with life existence, as it is spoken upon on networks such as Gaia on the internet. It's time to take the accountability. It's time to stop living in fear. And it's time to give the people what they need, and that is their freedom, so that they can protect our world, our planet Earth. Because as we say, assemble for global peace, we are assembling for global peace now, and we are doing that with the entire planet Earth. If we do that with the entire planet Earth, instead of partially utilizing man-made materials portioned out in materialistic mental capacity of financial delusions, and also economic creations of what people say are what is happening in the world, we need to control the media. We need to control the internet, and using the internet controls the media, because this is a free platform that gives people the accountability and the awareness. We don't have much time, because as we know, we are being viewed from different life forces outside of the earth. They are viewing us to be very weak. They are viewing us to be destroying ourselves over the past centuries upon centuries upon centuries of time. If we are eliminating each other, we are eliminating our security and our defense. And that is what needs to be changed here. As the United Nations is watching this, as the United States government, as all governments are watching this, you need to take this into consideration. As you destroy each other, and you destroy each other for fallacy or also certain agendas, you are destroying your security. Your security is each other to protect different regions and different origins of this planet Earth. Now it's time to strengthen, and now it is time to be aware of all lives do exist. And also women's lives do exist for equality, and strengthen all human beings. Give back the power to all human beings. Come to terms of a ruling that will be ruled over all earth, and that is the higher existence of power of God, which we call many names with many religions. If you can do this, you will be saving humanity. You will be saving the people worldwide who don't have a voice and who are not accountable and aware. You're giving people their power so that you can have a stronger sense of defense and departments of defense of security. You're renewing the energy in the earth. You are, you're taking your power to correct the mistakes. Your power exists within correcting the mistakes. And that here is key, because we do not know what is coming next. As we've been developing new technology, a precise understanding of what exists in the world. So the more you give the people the power, you have the power. The power is the people. You are the people. And this creates value all over sectors of the planet Earth that need to be protected and strengthened. You can have different countries, but at the end, you have one major contracted defense that is supposed to connect all divisions to protect the planet Earth. Now is the time to strengthen the economy by giving the awareness and giving this precise agenda of what? Spreading global peace, making sure that we are viewed as a peaceful planet. so that we are not the next to be eliminated, and stop eliminating each other. You are decreasing our departments of defense every time. So remember, they can see us, people can view us, just as the technology and internet has. So we are being viewed using technology and media. Scale of technology, people can also precise to use radar to hear us using this advantage. It is a system of viewing and also a system of hearing. So if they can hear us because we can hear them and we can see them, other life forces, we need to strengthen the planet Earth, and we need to do it quickly because there's new discoveries coming out every day. And this has happened since before I was born. So there's no point sugarcoating this or trying to control the people or calling them crazy. No, it's time to give them their accountability and give them their power so that we can unite all human beings, so that we can overcome all SDG goals, and we can strengthen our people and be viewed as a very strong planet Earth. So again, this increases the economy. This is a development that is happening already, but it needs to be focused upon. So for the Department of Defense that is watching, and for the other countries that are watching, this is the time to give the people the power for awareness. Once you do this, then our Earth will be healed and be renewed. Thank you, guys. So we have some new people who joined. We are going to give them the respect and let them speak. So we have Sahid Khan from India. Sahid, are you ready to speak?
What about Dr. Priyanka? Ambassador Dr. Priyanka is here.
Hello.
Dr. Priyanka from India.
Hello. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. First of all, good evening to all of you. Today topic is decent work and hello. Decent work and relate and our living rules. Hello.
Yes, we're here.
If we see our daily life, so we try to maintain with a decent and decent work is important with a decent way. No work is not short. Every work is equal. So if you do any work, so please respect your work and love to your work, and please do carefully. If you follow this process, you can go to success. And decent mean honest and hardworking, definitely for work. If you cheating your work, if you feel very bad yourself, and every time keep yourself and stay with belief, and work with relate is economic growth for sustainable development. Sustainable development then possible if economical growth is going on good, because with sustainable development, economical growth is very related. And hello, and every person from family who is eligible for work, so please go to your workplace and go there for money. And please, your money don't waste more purpose. If you have necessary, so you can brought buy your money, and buy your money, and you always try save the money, and um, growth of economy. So it is you can use your business, any purpose where you got economical benefit. So please your work do with decent, and your money you please save more to more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And people do need to save money. Okay, our next special guest speaker is going to be Adli Raham from Egypt. His connection was bad earlier. Hopefully we'll be able to hear him. Okay, we still cannot hear him. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk a little bit more, and we did have some new people just join from the People Alliance. That is Israel, Russia, and 189 countries, since they are listening and they came a little bit later. So we did briefly just touch up on the understanding of economic growth and the growth of helping the economies. We're not helping just one economy. We are growing to develop skills to help all economies. This is the accountability and the awareness of knowing what does exist in the world and what exists out of the world. And this will carry on to and strengthen all global peace worldwide, to assemble for that reason. We want to strengthen all of the Department of Defenses, all countries, to know that there is also life in the universe that exists and other planets. By knowing this accountability and giving the people their awareness back, giving them the respect for their accountabilities, giving them the choice, this can strengthen us worldwide and know that there is an advantage that we do have technology and we do have media, and being able to spread this awareness and this knowledge, we can not just help one SDG, we can help all SDGs by giving the people the power, because that strengthens our power. By giving the people that respect again, we can know that something greater to come can be adjusted, right? We can protect the planet Earth as a whole, because it's a planet as a whole force of our home. And in different origins of the world, each country has a responsibility to protect that particular region of the planet Earth. So instead of going into wars, eliminating each other, we want to come together to assemble for global peace, ending wars against the human beings, because as we are being viewed from other life beings from other parts of the universe, and we don't want to be projected and looked upon as we are going to eliminate ourselves. And that's what we are being viewed and perceived to be looked upon, is we're going to eliminate ourselves. And people talk about it frequently, about how we are living in lust, aggression, and greed. If we can control our mindsets and our emotions, this new advanced technology can strengthen our Department of Defenses in all countries to come together by you giving the people their power, because you're respecting them, giving them jobs, giving them new education, giving them new information, giving them a brighter IT for faster technology, new technology that hasn't came out yet. This will help strengthen the planet Earth from who knows what can happen for the future. So we want to strengthen the mindsets of the people. We want to decrease mental illness prevention, crime rate, poverty. We want to respect the life below in the ocean. We want to respect the life above the ocean on the land. And we want all of this awareness to be given to the earth, to the people, because if you give them the awareness, you're giving them the choice. After that point, you'll know what's causing these issues and who's causing these issues, as we are being viewed through satellites every day. So if something outside of our planet in the universe is viewing us and we're viewing them, which we are aware that that exists, by giving the people their power, you are strengthening the human beings with their power of overall. And by doing that, you are protecting our home, because we do have one home, the planet Earth. You're respecting and igniting the spiritual being of global peace, the people's peace, their mental health. And this is igniting what can save the human race. So instead of taking advantage of people and trying to have a secret agenda, a worldwide agenda, there will never be one ruler on this planet Earth. There will only be one God of a spiritual higher power that created the earth, that created the human beings. So once you guys have this knowledge and you spread this knowledge through technology and media, that will be the key to getting all occupations aware of this existence. which they are also already aware of. This will strengthen all departments of defense, because when the wars are breaking out, we are eliminating different sectors of different parts of the world for our Department of Defenses, which is to protect the planet Earth. As we've seen movies, as Gaia is a free network on the internet that has proven that this is a life existence of an existence that is out in the universe of other life forms. So now, since we know that as an actual existence, we cannot call the people crazy and devalue to try to control their minds and control them. We have to strengthen the people so that they have the choice to give value with the energy spread all over the Earth's aura and the Earth's core. Once we do that, we will be viewed upon as a respected planet Earth, instead of being looked at as weak and looked at as we will be eliminating ourselves. We don't want that to happen. We want the people to have the power to be ran by one system so that they can come together if something does happen. Keep that in mind. Anything is possible, and all lives do exist. And women's lives do exist as well for equality. So we want to strengthen the women as well as strengthen the men, because if something happened to the planet Earth, who is going to fight for our world? It is going to be men, it is going to be women, and it is going to be children that will grow into men and women. We want to take all of this into consideration and to definite effect immediately, because by reaching people with the economies, this builds the economy to make money, because you are enhancing the medical field, you are enhancing the education system, you are enhancing the people's rights, and you are inclusion on facts of what exists in the world. By giving the people the knowledge and giving the people the perception to change and the ability to change, we don't have to worry about getting rid of too many people that are here on the earth. We are trying to strengthen the people that are here on the earth. So we are doing that because that strengthens our departments of defense in different parts of the world, because we have more human beings and we have more creative mindsets. And there is a spiritual war going on as well, where if you've noticed in other countries, they do not have the right to assemble their guns. So that means they're using their minds to assemble the energy of other attacks that are happening on the planet Earth. So if that is the case, which it is, I've seen it. I've been to London, I've been to Paris, I'm from the United States. I've seen the mindsets of all the people. This will increase the value of perception and economies worldwide spread, getting rid of all issues and issues we talk upon with SDG 1 through 17 that the United Nations has given us the information to create platforms. Once we are able to do this in this correct manner of respect and obedience to a higher creation of spiritual beings that exist on the planet Earth, the people that you guys are trying to not have awareness of, the spiritual beings, it is all human beings that can tap into their gifts and their accountabilities and their awarenesses. So these are the people that will protect the planet Earth and that will be able to help, that may have a stronger defense rather than a gun, rather than a machine, rather than an atomic bomb. The defense starts within the spiritual being of the people, of God's existence within the human body. And once this awareness is shown as an existence, which it has been using technology and media, we will be able to save the planet Earth and the entire human race. So again, keep this in the mind. We need to work on the roots and we need to take it into steps. One is accountability and the mindset, reprogramming the people to know that they can achieve anything with their minds. They can heal themselves. They can help spread awareness and accountability to the youth, to women, and to children. And also giving this awareness will give different sectors of different regions of the world the accountability and availability for protecting the planet Earth. Once that happens, this is going to change the dynamic, and we will be a long-lasting planet that does not have to worry about our world ending, because we are proving the energy that we're giving out to the universe from our planet Earth is a positive and is a very healthy energy that is helping the other planets with coexistence and helping other life forms of coexistence into the universe. So once we work on this root issue, we will be able to not just build our economies, but we are giving value, showing that we are strengthened by uniting all economies. Thank you. We have a video from Job Okello from Africa. We will be playing that now. Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties, but please be patient. It's coming. In the meantime, I just want to give you guys one more part of hope here, one more mindset of hope here, one more emotion of hope here. If we focus on our reality and we focus on our salvation, which is our peace within, and we focus on joy, and we focus on positive energy of a mindset, we start to produce our overall goal here, giving that energy off in different sectors of the world. That's why it is very important to help people with mental health prevention. It will help all SDG goals. It will help all economic development and goals. It will increase revenue all over the world in the medical field, opening holistic clinics and also showing there is holistic medicines as well. That may even be holistic medicines in pill forms, but it doesn't have to be that type of drugs. It can be holistic with herbs and medicines. There's many different ways to heal our world. We need to take the accountability to give the information so the people can keep their hope and keep their faith. This is what the people need now. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and let Sahid Khan speak while our technical difficulties are resolved.
Can you hear me? I'm so glad to be here, and thank you for organizing such events, Tiana. And we all are so grateful to you because you have made a space to give us the opportunity. We can't really deliver our some wars. And today is very important topic, it seems to me. And so what does decent work mean? So decent work means opportunity for everyone to get work that is productive and delivers a fair income, security in the workplace, and social protections for families, better prospects of personal developments, and social integration. So increasing employments and ensuring decent work for all are essential aspects of sustainable developments. Equality, employments, and decent work conditions help reduce inequalities and poverty, and empower people, essentially women, young people, and most vulnerable such and people with disabilities. So you know that in many parts of the country, girls are not getting equal pay, and they learn it, but they are having trouble to get the jobs, and they are really going through lots of depressions, and they're not getting paid equally. So that makes me really think about that we can do for insurance, and they're really depriving of getting such a job they're expecting. So you got to ensure our voice through the social media. So we can bring some girls here so that they can really raise their voice. And you know that what's happening in the world. So you have really said that who just gonna be really fighters and who just going to fight for the world, so to protect, to prevent something that is unnecessarily happening, who is gonna protect. So we are gonna protect, we're gonna fight for every injustice, and that's what we are really creating some place and some peoples who are high motivated, who are just energetic and powerful to take a risk for solving world's problems. You know that what's happening in Ukraine, and lots of girls and lots of children's, and I really get hard because we are working with children's. So when I see that children's are in a dangers, they are being killed, and that makes me absolutely sad, and it's really horrifying. And I can imagine, you know, that in my country also happening, lots of children's, they are not getting the fundamental rights, and it's absolutely sad. That's why we are working for. And I'm really happy because we are raising our voice and raising and just making people conscious through this social media, and that's jobs everybody needs to done, and it's gonna be done by us, and we are going to do something and create an examples for the world. And you know that people are getting inspired, who just are really hearing from us some hope, because we just are indicating the problems, and but also we are just indicating and saying the solutions that how we can really solve the problems. And that's how people can get empowered. And those girls who are lost, she's really thinking that I'm lost. And our every word can be so inspirational for them to get really powerful message from us that can help them to raise their voice. You know that in the past, and girls were depriving, but just compare to the present, they are really getting, they are raising their voice. That's the hope that we can't really only get from the girl. And you know that like Tiana and lots of girls in the world, they are doing such a wonderful job. Like just like you know that Pakistan, a girl who just fought for the rights and just against injustice, Malala Yousafzai. And she's a girl. She just create the examples for others girls and those who are losing their hope. And she is really hope. And Tiana is hope for girl, because lots of girls, they are not super brave to take actions. And Tiana's every word, Nada's every word can be great, powerful for them. And you know that sometimes when girls are facing, because we are just talking with lots of girls and they have the problem, but they don't have any scope to share. Their parents are not educated. If they share with them, probably they are really suggesting in a wrong way and they are on the wrong track. But if a girls who are just facing a problem, he or she wants to get suggestions from others. And if you just want to give suggestions, that is the hope for a girl. And that's how she can think about the what's rights and wrongs. And you know that's in my area, there are lots of girls intended to get early marriage, but girl wants to study, wants to carry on their study. And because they know the importance and value of studying, and but their parents are forced that you have to really marry right now because they are not really, they are not powerful in economically. So you know that if you just work and give them suggestions, give them and just make sure that they are getting proper jobs and financially they can improve, and they are not going to marriage at the young age because they want to study. And that's the hope that we can express, and that's how they can really protect themselves. And I am really super optimistic because a lots of people, they just only bring the things that is not optimistic things. But I always believe in myself. I always believe some of the words that some is pronounced by Tiana, pronounced other girls, and that's the hope that we can really get. It enhance our ability to take actions for the girls who are in the areas where they are in vulnerable situations. And I just want to be the hope for them. And Tiana just wants to be hope for them. Nada wants to be hope for them. And so seeing our activities, people will come around and they will, you know that when we just created the foundations, and probably Tiana has also experienced such situations that people didn't care and people didn't want to say, just really come and just associate with me, because they didn't see any hope. But day by day we understood, we just made them understand that we are doing something. And then they came, and large big community has created. So that's how we can bring change. You know that when we started our foundations, just only 8% and just wanted to just work with us. But right now 120 students, because I inspired a lot and I had a great barriers to make them understand, because their parents are not understanding the value of good work. They just only want their daughter and the son get a good jobs and with a better salary, or just having a good grade from their school and college. And that's the perceptions of many of our students' parents. But we need to make people understand the value of good work, the value of education. Just you can't really you can't be considered as educated just after graduating, because I have seen in my life there are lots of educated people, they're disrespecting girls. And what is the value of education? I don't care you are educated or not, but I care that how humble you are, how polite you are. And that's the power of education. It only be considered when I see educated people are just doing the things like educated. But if you are educated, but you are not helping others, you are really just being selfish, not thinking others, the value to me is absolutely nothing. Your education to me is nothing. Only I consider that you are helping others. You are thinking for the world. A girl who is living in Nigeria, Africa, and in Bangladesh, India, and she is in trouble. And I only consider value that, yes, you are educated. So I think that we have a lot more problems in the world, but we only need to discuss, we only need to take action and inspire youths like me. Because when youths will understand the problem, they of course needs to protest. In my country, you know that during pandemic, because pandemic is stable right now, but in just 6 months ago and 8 months ago here in Bangladesh, and there are lots of people are dying. They are not unconscious about wearing masks, but we just went out for really inspiring them. So you need to really wear mask, and just you have to maintain the medical advice and doctor advice, and they understood. And youths, why I'm talking about youths and aged people, I didn't see their activities really marching on just physically, they didn't really work. But youths like us, they did a great things, and they have created a great example for my country. And that's the power. You know that when just natural disaster is happening in my country, just youths are doing great jobs. They don't care about what really will happen with their lives, and probably in many times they are going to face the problem that they are not expecting, but they don't really have the ability to accept that people who are just not thinking he's in danger, and they don't think about their own life. They don't think about that I'm going to die. But youth have the power, have the ability to change and being a change. And that's what I just want to express, and just want to say that be kind and be for other human being, not just being selfish. And that's how we can really bring a big change in the world. Yes, we can change. And of course, we need to be changed first, and then we got to change others. And let's change the world. Thank you, Tiana, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe you're right. Together, we can change and we can protect the planet Earth. We can protect the human race and all people and all life, because all lives do exist and women's lives do exist for equality of life existence. Thank you so much. And we're going to end today with one more thought, one more major thought, and that is the future is now. It's not later. The hope of the people is now. It's not later. And here together we stand utilizing technology and media for the positive, as we are the youth and we have put on this summit. All lives do exist and women's lives do exist for equality, spreading awareness, for assembling, for peace. Thank you guys, and stay tuned. Tomorrow we have another SDG Day 9. Thank you guys. Take care.